Hi everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII, and we are finally going to go and take out Sephiroth. I did a whole bunch of training and leveling up in this cave here in the northern crater. Absolutely loads of it. Went out, went for Emerald, absolutely trounced it, and then did exactly the same for Ruby. It was far more powerful and far easier than I was expecting. I was expecting so much more, but never mind. Anyway, I've got a sort of ridiculous setup here with a bunch of mimes and counters, with double cut on Cloud there. Don't need the XP plus. You've got a cover on, don't you? Preemptive, sure thing. Give you dexterity +2. It's fine. It doesn't really matter at this point. Yeah, and I've come back, and it's finally time for the end of the story, because it's been a long time since we've had any story. It's been a good long while. You ready, Tifa? Oh, thank you. You've been keeping that from me? Yeah, this is basically when you send the characters to go different directions. This is what it's all about. They give you these things. Is it worth it? Not really. Oh, shield material, what? That surprises me. What, so I've got 2 unmastered shield material? I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. That was that was a very quick change of tone there. A magic sauce? Oh, that would have been nice. Didn't you find something, Yuffie? Oh, yeah, Yuffie's like, oh, yeah. And another counter. Another. What? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me I could have had 2 unmastered counter materia at the same time? I am... Oh, okay. I take back completely what I said about these items not really meaning anything. I could have had 2 all at once. Oh. Let's mosey. Move out. I am genuinely shocked. I thought I knew. I mean, sometimes, like, I think, like, oh yeah, I know pretty much everything about this game, and then that comes around and it's like, oh, here's another unmastered counter materia. Oh. Yuffie, we could have used that counter materia all this time. Yep. My trusty final team here. You want to be careful with your jumping there, you don't want to fall off. Okay, this is it. And we have the Genova music as well. Okay. What do you mean I could have had 2 unmastered counter materia at the same time? I mean, it doesn't matter now, but that could have helped. Okay, another one of these. Yeah, so you can encounter more of these guys, but it won't use Pandora's box. Pandora's box is never happening again. Yeah, just 4x cut it. Oh, another one. Yeah, you attack Cloud, so now he's gonna do the hokey cokey. Yeah, so when you tell a character to go a certain way down in the Northern Crater, they find the items that are there. But of course, you like me, you can just go back the same way and pick them up. So you kind of like double up on them. Okay, well I guess having another unmastered counter materia is another missable then, I suppose, maybe. Genova? Alright then, and now we have Genova Synthesis, as this one's called. It's got its own music. Okay, Cloud, you do your useless imitations. Funny story about this, my friend Bridge, who played this game, he got this game not long after I did. I mean, maybe... Oh, hold on. Let's just mime. Yeah, fine. So he got this game not long after I did, and he completed it long before I did. See, the boss is dead easy. I've trained up so much. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, look at all that experience you get. It's a lot of experience. So, I remember one time after the summer holidays, we got back, and this was when I was still in the phase of not being able to, I was stuck. I wasn't able to get past the Junin Harbour, I think. My friend Bridge, he completed this game, and he said like, oh, when you go towards the end, you fight Genova, there's Genova Sithnith. And I was like, oh, no, I think I must have been a bit further because I already knew about Genova. Yeah, I knew about Genova Birth, yeah. And he goes, yeah, it's Genova Sithnith. And I was like, oh wow, Genova Sithnith, I can't wait to see Genova Sithnith. And then I got there, it's like, oh, synthesis. Right. Light. Light. Are you heading towards the light there, Cloud? Is this? I don't know. Oh. It's certainly something. Whoa. Oh, there he is. Come on, Yuffie, we need you. Well, we mostly need Cloud. What's there? Okay then. Yuffie and Sid, come on. Yep. And then, whoa, they want us to make another team. Okay then, so we make another team of these three, and they might want to make us they might want us to make a team of another team. I don't think so though. I think it does depend on a few things. But anyway, let's. Oh, hold on. Did I not give you? Hold on, Barrett. Did I not, Oh, okay. He does have catastrophe. That's fine. He's fine with Unger Max. Okay. Missing score. Yeah, yeah. That's fine. So dividing us into different teams now. So I'm just going to stick a few things on. Okay. I might not be using this team so much, but you can have an enemy skill. See, this is the only fight where having 4 enemy skills actually has a use, because you do divide up into 2 teams. Sure, Master Command. I mean, the thing is, these guys, they're still powerful. I mean, I've not been using them, but they are still powerful. Red, what if I give you Ultima with added cut, maybe? MP absorb, and then I'll just give you a bunch of summons. Just to make you magic based, I guess. I don't need MP plus. Could definitely do with HP plus. And magic plus. Anything I could put with counter? Tell you what, Tifa, you can have a death blow with added cut. Have I still got 1 added cut? I do, that's fine. Death blow with added cut, you can do that, that's fine. I do have another death blow though, so I've put death blow with something else maybe. Let's put the counter on there. Death blow with counter. Do you have... are there any master material left? Or have I used them all? I mean, master summon, fine. Whatever. Okay. I could give you another counter attack. W summon, sure thing. Do you have a... you don't have a master summon, do you? No. Ultima with MP absorb. Yeah, I don't have my magic, like, my powerful magic anymore because I've blended them all. You want restore, that's fine. Tell you what, put the restore there. Mix it with an all. Restore with an MP absorb, I guess. I don't know. Enemy skill, counter attack, master command. 2 counters, yeah. I think you're fine. Just give him stuff for the sake of luck, I guess. TV should have cover. The thing is, as well, is that these guys have the leftover materia from the other guys. Yeah, alright. Okay. That's good enough. But I don't think they could do with Fury. Alright. God, and now I've got these two. Ugh, okay. Man, if anything's going to kill me, it's going to be these guys. What a team. And I've got hardly any material left. Okay, final attack and revive. HP absorb with... I don't know. I'll give them summons, I guess. Put 2 Odins on, so Odin there, HP absorb, and another one with MP turbo maybe? Okay. Yeah, you can have double cut, that's fine. Magic counter with Comet, I suppose. I mean, they're still in the 60s, aren't they? They're not too bad. They've got their ultimate weapons on. Hey, well, let's give you the curse ring. Okay, well, at least if I'm going to be using the Vincent and Kate team, I don't know exactly what determines it, but sometimes you'll have, it'll split you into 2 teams, sometimes split into 3 teams, and you sort of like switch between them in order to defeat the different parts of this boss. Wally is the pair of Avalanche of Marlene and Dine and everyone on the planet. Aerith's memories, our memories. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get this boss done pretty easily. I mean, my main team is perfectly fine. These guys can handle everything. Think about the sequence of the 5 targets and beat them. Or you can just do if a part dies, switch to a different body. Anyway, this is Bizarro Sephiroth. And to tell you the truth, when I first played this game, or when I first got to this boss, I was stuck here for ages. Right, Magic D dead. Switch to the members? No, not really. I'd rather not. I don't know the exact mechanics behind it, but if I can do it with just this team, I will. Okay. Demi 3. Okay. Head Posh and B dead? Yeah. Not really. Is that him dead? Oh, okay then. Never mind. I wasn't entirely sure of the exact mechanics of how this boss worked, but that's all I need to do. Anyway, listen to this. Now isn't that epic? How it goes to black and then like the music stops and then this one-winged angel starts again. Yeah, this is one-winged angel. The final battle. Oh, Yuffie. You're getting in there nice. Oh, and that's it. Didn't even get to the lyrics. Alright then. Man. I mean, I spent so much time like preparing for Emerald and Ruby Weapon and making sure that everything was absolutely perfect. But by the time I got to, you know, the actual main villain of the game with the epic music that sings, well, the music that actually has vocals in is like, oh, this big epic fight. Didn't even get to it. It's like, okay, that's it then. Alright. Didn't even get a turn in, I don't think. Oh, well, he put up a barrier. Man, this is so anticlimactic. This is all we could do. It was you did a lot, Cloud. Let's see what the planet does. Oh. It's been a while since you've had one of those moments, Cloud. Something wrong? What? Sephiroth? Oh. Well, this is quite surreal. Oh, is that the white materia? Oh, and there he is. Man, that gong, when that just starts into that gong just gets hit. Oh. Okay. So, here's what we do. Start the battle. We hit him with Omni Slash. Take that Sephiroth. Fun fact, if you don't actually have Omni Slash, you will still get the chance to use it now. It doesn't depend on you having Omni Slash. You will still see it now. Ooh. Ah. That is quite surreal, that. It's surreal in the fact that when Aerith died, they made it very clear to not animate any blood, but then Sephiroth is covered in blood. And it's just such, like, seeing the shock on his face, it's so radically different from anything, like, his entire character has been up until that point. That's what makes it quite surreal, I think. Anyway, it looks like we've taken care of him. Oh. Is that Aerith you're seeing there? No, it's Tifa. The place is collapsing. They're all over there. Well, all of them apart from Yuffie and Vincent, you can't see them because they're optional characters. You might not have them, so you don't see them in the cutscene. Oh. We're gonna have any chance of getting out? Oh, is that Holly? Is that Holly being unleashed? What you thinking, Marlene? There's a lot going on outside. Where are you right now, by the way? Oh, jeez. Oh, is she in calm? Oh, wait, it's all kicking off in Midgard now. Since Midgard seems to be the first place hit by a meteor, we'll just have to hope that Holy gets here in time. What's up, Barrett? Holy's definitely there. It's definitely doing something. Is it just not enough? What is it? Oh, it's a bit of live stream. More than just a bit, it's lots of it. Where's it coming from? Oh, is that the planet protecting itself? Oh. And it was Aerith all along. But we already knew that. But she was there in the end. And we go full circle as well, because she was the first face that you saw on the opening of the game. And she's the last face you see just before the credits. So yeah, that is Final Fantasy VII. Excellent game. I've always found it strange that people like Final Fantasy VII is seen as like the main one. I mean, I understand that like it was the first one to come on the PlayStation. It was the first one released in Europe. I understand that, but again, to go back to my own experience, so I heard of Final Fantasy VII when I think around the time it came out. I saw it like featured on the front of magazines and all that. I remember seeing like Cloud there, and I remember seeing like a picture of that scene in the cinema building when like when he's on his motorbike. I remember seeing pictures of that, and I remember things like, oh, that's that Final Fantasy VII game. But I didn't know anything about what type of game it was. I didn't know anything about RPGs. But it was in 2000 when my friend Matthew showed me Final Fantasy VIII, and I was blown away by it. It was like, oh man, this is the best game I've ever seen ever. Of course, I hadn't played at that point. I'd only seen it, and then when I played it, I absolutely loved it. But my introduction to 7 came after that. It was quite strange. I always say things are quite strange, don't I? I know that, but anyway. So I saw it at a childcare centre that I went to, and at this point I was familiar with 8, and I was kind of familiar with 7 just through like the images I saw, but I never really connected the dots to say like, oh well, Final Fantasy 7 is that game that I remember from the magazines, and it is also the game of the same series that my friend showed me that was really into. I didn't connect those dots in that same way. Until I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII, and I played it, a little bit of it, and I was a bit confused at first because obviously I was used to 8, so it said Cloud had bolts and it cost 4 MP. In my mind I was thinking, oh, he's got 4 bolts, but then I keep using bolt and he's still got 4 bolts, what's going on? It took me some time to get used to it. It was interesting also in that one big thing I noticed with 8 was because I was really into Pokemon as well, but 8 had I felt like, oh, it's the same kind of game, but it's far more sophisticated. That was how I felt about 8. It felt really sophisticated, and it is. There's a lot going on in it, absolutely loads, gameplay-wise. But this game, I was never one of those people who saw like worse graphics and thought like, oh no, these graphics are worse, therefore it's a worse game. All I cared about was that it was a different game, and the fact it was a Final Fantasy game was like, oh, hold on, it's in the same series as this other game that I really, really like, but it's a bit older, so the graphics don't look as good. They kind of look like Poi characters. Oh, and there's the Final Fantasy prologue being played just there. I was thinking, like, yeah, it's kind of like it's got like the characters look like they're from Poi. And that's what I was thinking. And I got it soon afterwards. Very soon afterwards, actually. Because it was winter of 2000. I played this game and Final Fantasy VIII downstairs in the back room. It was really cold. During the winter to drink hot chocolate. And I was either playing this or 8. And that was, I think, a few months before 9 came out. And I got the 9 when it came out. But yeah, I've never really, like, I've always found it quite strange, and I couldn't really relate to the idea that 7 stood out as like this one amazing game that's like the main one. In my mind, it's an amazing game, absolutely. It's one of my favourite games of all time. But in terms of Final Fantasy, it's one of them. I don't know, I always found that strange. Yeah. Yeah, I was really into it. And like I say, it did take me a while to properly get through it because there were moments, thanks to the environment, that I just didn't know. Like, I didn't see the staircase in Drennan and that beam in Sector 5 before the wall market. I got stuck quite a bit. Yeah, and that was before, and it was after that that I really got into the series, like, as a whole, where I started really delving into, like, the older ones. And I was just really into Final Fantasy. It was my main thing. After Pokemon. Pokemon was before Final Fantasy, and then Final Fantasy took over from Pokemon. As a place of deserving attention in my head. In my brain. So yeah, definitely a special game for me. It's got a lot. I've got memories attached to it. Quite a few, and like I said, because I did it at different parts. I did it at different times because of how often I got stuck. I've got different memories. Like my memories of my first playthrough are of different times because of all the different phases I went through. Whereas say Final Fantasy X, my memories of my first playthrough of that is really just I just blitzed through it. Whereas with this one I tended to get stuck quite a bit. Anyway, 500 years later. Oh. Is that red? And little baby reds? They do have a long lifespan, that species, so that could be red. And Midgar has been completely run over by nature. Nature has reclaimed it. The trees have grown. So, oh, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, that is the name of the game, Final Fantasy VII. So I wonder if that's I wonder what happened to the humans at that time then. What's with the weird laughter? And hey, remember at the start when I said that I'm probably going to mess up and say Aeris all the time? I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened at all. We're travelling through the stars. Is he going to come up with a message saying the end or something? Is that it? I suppose I should also give my rundown of the game itself, because I can talk about like my memories and like what it meant and everything. I should also give a rundown of some aspects of the game that I really like, and I suppose aspects of the game that I'm not as keen on. To get the worst out of the way first, I'm really not keen on, and I've never really been keen on, like mini games in RPGs. Just people tend to really like them, and I think a lot of them I just do not care for at all. Like the motorbike minigame, the snowboarding minigame, the game just doesn't like. I don't know. I just like the motorbike. I feel like it's very clunky. It's very hard to control. When I attack, I end up just attacking like in front of them. And this is where some people would say, "Well, you need to get good or whatever." And it's like, okay, whatever. Snowboarding is like I just keep crashing into all the snow moogles all the time. And the submarine thing as well. You can do all these at the Gold Saucer to earn GP if you really want to do it that way. Chocobo racing is quite a drag. I don't know how else it really could have gone, but I think a lot of it is to do with the fact. I think that a big issue I have with the Chocobo stuff is I think a lot of it's very obtuse, like, oh, you need to have this particular nut which you can only steal from goblins or whatever. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to find that out, if you're going to work that out by yourself, it's going to take a very long time. It takes a long time to do it. It takes a good few hours to do it, even if you have all the steps laid out in front of you. I mean, granted, compared to other RPGs, some things take a lot longer than that. But I also think, and this is just me, I think generally speaking, side quests and stuff work better if they're integrated with the game system. So, like the battle arena, I much prefer the battle arena. It's probably my favourite of the mini game type things in this game. But things that include fights or I don't know, like say Triple Triad. Like I think Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII is fantastic. It does when you start getting all the weird rules and stuff. It starts not being so good, and it also has a bit of a detriment when you've just got all these powerful character cards. But I'm not talking about that game. I'm talking about this game. So yeah, I think some things sometimes I think there's too much of an effort to try to have like diversity of style. Like, oh right, now we're doing this thing, and some of them it's like the whole thing about like giving Priscilla CPR. I do not get it at all. I think some of them it's like some of them like Bone Village, like that's more tolerable. I mean, at least they're not like huge things for them other than the Chocobo racing. They're not like that significant. But I do think to myself like I'm really not like as into this. There are other RPGs out there where they focus a lot more on, like, the side quests are like hunts for different types of enemies, and there's more stuff with, like, stuff to steal from enemies and stuff to do that, and that's what, like, the extra stuff is to do with, and I prefer that. That being said, this game still does quite a lot of good stuff with all that stuff, so something I never really appreciated before this playthrough was just how many things you can steal from enemies. I knew about stuff like the Shinra Beta and the and some like the weapons and stuff. The Shinra Beta, the Carbon Bangle, like things like that you can steal from enemies. That's nice, and it's nice how they introduced like those concepts gradually. Like you get more materia, so you get like a steel materia. It's like, okay, now there's a new layer of stuff. You get the enemy skill materia. Oh, now there's enemies you can get enemy skills from. That's like another layer of stuff. So even though it's not like people do have this idea of like a big open world game where you've got all these quests to do and these characters asking you like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you go here? Big open world, lots of places to go. But honestly, I think something like this where this is just one example where like concepts open up and you're just presented with options of like non-discrete options. It's not do this or do that. It's just you get the steel materia and now you can steal items. And some enemies have items and enemy skills. Some enemies have enemy skills for you to get. Then you get new equipment and it's like, oh okay, well this one doesn't have the materia linked, and that one does, but this one has double growth, and that sort of thing to me is what makes like that stuff is what makes like a high quality RPG, I think, is that sort of gradual introduction to new things, new concepts, and you really build on the idea of what you've developed and what you've gone with, and you can continue on from there. Something that I think a lot of people really don't like about this game, and I've heard a lot of people complain about, not just with this game, but with other Final Fantasy 7 and 8, and to some extent 10, but not as much. But with a few Final Fantasy games, is that the characters aren't strictly defined into roles, where like a character, they learn this character learns that. I don't think that's a problem. I think if you've got, they can be similar enough, but as long as there's some difference, it's not asking you to choose between skins. They do have differences. They're not exactly the same. They can't be, because you get them at different times. They level up independently. They have different limit breaks, have different weapons and equipment. Even if they were very, very similar in lots of ways, they're not identical. So there's still lots of things to do. But I think it's just one method of a game being. And I think with this game in particular, I imagine a lot of people weren't really used to the idea of materia, the way that you can just pick something up from one character, just move it onto another, and back and forth. Again, there aren't many games that do that. I think the closest to this game would be Final Fantasy VIII, where it is literally the stuff that you can learn can be transferred between characters so easily. But that doesn't make the characters the same, you see. And there's a bunch of people out there who just do not like this that system at all. But I think it's perfectly fine, you know, we have so many games, or you get so used to games where it's like, oh, there's the cleric class and there's this, and it's nice to have some variety. It's nice to have some games that do that and some games that don't, because what you need is variety. And if you're on the hunt for the perfect game, and if you have this idea of what makes games perfect, then you're not going to really appreciate the differences that there can be within the scope of games. Something else this game does, which I think is quite interesting that you don't see much, is that I feel like a lot of the high-end stuff, so I'm talking about limit breaks and summons and all that, a lot of this stuff, or at least it seems this way, isn't very gated off in the strictest sense of things. So, for example, you can, even if you miss any of the summon materia, you can get a master summon materia from the Crown Traveller by defeating an Emerald Weapon. You can get it a different way. If you never get Omni Slash, you can still see Omni Slash by getting to the end of the game and watching Cloud use it on Sephiroth. You can still use it. You can still see it. So very little of the game is like so strongly gated. You don't get like a unique thing from defeating Emerald and Ruby. There's nothing unique from them. There is from Ultima, because you get the Ultima Weapon. But even then, one of the rewards for defeating Ultima Weapon is access to the Ancient Forest. But you don't have to defeat Ultima Weapon to get to the Ancient Forest. You could get a gold chocobo. There's multiple different ways of seeing and like acquiring like the highest things. And so when I try to visualize this in my mind, I think of the game as like more of a round shape than like a spiky shape. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Similar to how the leveling distribution works, like the experience. So, some characters get experience, the ones in reserve, they get part of the experience. It feels more rounded. And I know some people complain about RPGs where they make you use certain characters, like at a certain point, like, I don't want to use this character because I've not used him, but the story's forcing me to. Now, some would say that this game, because of the leveling system, is like it's not as bad for this. But I mean, I don't think that's a problem to begin with. I like the idea of having moments in games where it's like, oh, okay, well, I haven't used this character, but now I have to. I quite like that conceptually. But yeah, this game is very rounded in that way. I just think of it as like a circle. It's very circular, like very round. The materia are like spheres. No, that's just irrelevant. Yeah. It's also quite small when you compare it to other, even earlier Final Fantasy games. When you consider like the amount of towns and everything, it's quite small in comparison. But you have to remember as well is that every town had to have its own render, its own background. They couldn't just like repeat sprites. But even then, it's like before you complete Disc 1, you've been to almost everywhere in the world. So, what new places, like what places can you not go to in Disc 1? And when do they unlock? So, of all the places that you can't go to in Disc 1, there is the Icicle Inn, the Sage's Hut, the Chocobo Sage, the Northern Crater, and Medeal. Oh, and the Materia Caves, I suppose. But if we're talking about like towns and dungeons and stuff, there's really only those 4 places. But if you look at the world map, by the time you complete Disc 1, you've been on every continent. Maybe Wutai, but you've been almost everywhere. But then, oh yeah, well I suppose there's also like the underwater reactor and everything there. But when you get the airship, it's still a lot of the places that you can go to. Like how many, okay, think about this, when you get the airship, how many new places can you go to that you could never go to before under any circumstances? There's Medeal, and the Chocobo Sage's Hut, and the Northern Crater, and that's it really. What the airship offers you mostly is easier travel, a means to get around easier. Again, sort of like that rounded thing, and like with the Gold Saucer, when you go there you can buy a lifetime ticket for 30,000 gil, or a single-use ticket for 3,000 gil. I don't know, these things, they sort of feel, these things all feel related to me. I don't know if other people feel this way, but these things all do sort of feel like related to me. Yeah. Actually, one thing I will say, that I think I forgot to mention, going back to my my experience of playing this as a child, is that when you hit the world map, again, thinking again, because I was used to playing Final Fantasy VIII, in which the world map is like almost immediate. I remember getting to the world map after leaving Midgar, and it was so surreal, not just because of the theme, like thematically it's different to Midgar, but also like the idea of this game has quote bad graphics, as it were, right? I mean, yeah, I know the old PS1 models, yeah, sure thing, whatever. But that aspect really stood out to me when you got onto the world map, because I don't know, it felt like it suddenly became the world map to me. It's not just that it's grassy and, you know, green and blue skies and everything that's different to Midgar, but it's also that it felt very Duplo-esque. Like the grass is like one shade of green. Like it felt, part of it felt kind of fake. And I'm not saying that like now, looking back, saying like, oh, these graphics are so bad compared to what we have today. I'm not doing that. I mean, when I first played this game, going onto the world map, everything felt like it was built out of building blocks. The grass didn't feel real. The sky was like too strongly blue. It just felt a bit uneasy, and I don't know, I'm not going to say that was intentional, because I don't think it was, or necessarily that that's a good or a bad thing, but I just find it interesting that that's how I felt when I first got onto the world map. In terms of optional stuff with materia and limit breaks and weapons and stuff, I'll tell you what I don't like, and this is a symptom of older games in general, the amount of stuff that's missable, where you can just walk past it and never get it again, and never have a chance to. I hate that. And I think my advantage with this game is just that I know it so well. I didn't know I could get a second unmastered copy of Counter though, did I? Didn't know about that. But yeah, with regards to, like, there are a lot of things like around, and you know, like limit breaks to find, ultimate weapons to find, but some of them it kind of felt like they didn't want to. It was like they didn't have enough space to put 8 different level 4 limit breaks and 9 different ultimate weapons like around the world, because really, when you think about it, Vincent's are both found in the exact same place. Yuffie's ultimate weapon and Cid's ultimate limit break are found in the exact same place. Red's ultimate limit break is basically like really early on. It's by the safe in the Shinra Mansion in Nibelheim, which you can go there to get Vincent, like right on disc 1. So that's like really early. Yeah, some of them it felt like they were just sort of just like in a random place. But yeah. I should also mention the materia combos. I think the materia combos is where this game can really shine, because if you know what you're doing, you can make some really neat stuff. The way that the blue materia reacts, like the way it can be stacked, can make like interesting combinations, like counter mime plus counter mime, or you could have like HP absorb plus another one, like say fire with HP absorb, then a fire with an MP absorb, and you get both effects when you use fire. That's interesting. You can get some really neat stuff there. But yeah, it's something that when I now I've come back to this game and I'm so much better than what I used to be as a kid, and I know exactly what I'm doing. Because if you remember, I think I mentioned when I first got to Cosmo Canyon as a kid, I discovered the HP plus and MP plus materia that you could buy, and in my mind it was like, oh wow, that's so amazing. I ended up buying a whole bunch of them. I actually remember the first time playing this game, I purposely bought 3 of every materia. So like I got 3 copies of Ice, 3 copies of Lightning, 3 copies of Restore, just so I could have it for like, I'd have the option to equip it for every character. Without realising like there's no point. There's really no point. But then it's interesting, isn't it, how kids are like, when you're new to something, like you treat something differently. And I think that it's interesting to think about how good is something when you only measure it by how good it is for the top end players. Because some people could say like, oh well, you can break the game by doing this. Like, yeah, but a lot of people won't be doing that. And if you're going to do that, then would it be hypocritical to say that you like a game because you really enjoyed it when you were a kid and you didn't understand all these things? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a lot of fun, and I've really given out a lot of my thoughts there. But I am, and I will be honest, I am happy to finish this now. I am glad. I'm happy that I've done it, and I'm very glad it's over. Because this has been a project and a half. But that's going to be it for Final Fantasy VII. So, if you've stuck out this long, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!